Hello everybody, this is Michelle Fox and welcome back to The Simple Quilter. Today is the first Wednesday of the month and the day that I show you what I've gotten done on my UFO list. So I just want to review with you what I was supposed to be working on. I had 4 things on my list. 2 of them have been crossed off, which is a really good thing. Well, 2.5 things out of the 4 have been crossed off, but I've been working on at least 3 of them just a little bit. Now, the first one is that I do want to mention is I did complete the quilt top for my surprise package quilt, and I will put up a photo of that so you can see it if you didn't see it in my previous videos. So this is a picture of my surprise package finished quilt top. Okay, the next thing I had on my list, or one of the other things I had on my list, was to quilt this table runner and quilt and bind it. I did get it quilted and I did get the binding picked, so let me show you a close-up of those. Okay, so here's the table runner, and I did 1/2-inch straight line quilting. I just really like that, as you all know, and it's a quick, easy way to get a project quilted, and I like the way that it helps it lay flat. And I didn't get the binding on, but I have picked out the binding, and the binding strips are cut. I'm going to use black. Actually, in several of my videos, I've shown you that I've chosen black. I don't typically use a lot of black, but it seems like in my past few videos I have. But I auditioned the red, and I just really think this black is going to stand out nicely. It's kind of like a grunge, but I'm going to use that for the binding. It shouldn't take me long to put the binding on. I'll put it on by machine. Now, I do have a video if you're interested in how to make this, and I'll put a link for that, for this up above. Okay, so this is a quilt that this is one of my UFO projects that is on my list, and that is my Autumn Squares and Pinwheels quilt. And I want to get this quilted and the binding put on. Now, I asked you all in a recent video how you thought, if you had any ideas for quilting. And several of you did give me some ideas, and some of you talked about how there's a lot of straight lines in here and how adding curves might be good. So what I'm thinking about is kind of a combination of what you all talked about. I'm thinking about doing a meandering stitch on this, just using free motion. The verdict's not out yet on that, but that's what I'm kind of thinking of doing with that. But the weather has to warm up a little bit because I want to spray baste it outside, and it is cold here. Now, if you're interested in that quilt pattern or how to make the Pinwheels and Squares quilt, I have a video on that, and I'll put a link on that up above. Now, the quilt behind me is one that I'm going to start working on to finish the top. I have the top about halfway done. I have a video out on this one. So if you want to make this quilt or look at how it's made, you can watch that video, and I'll put that link up above. And I'll try to put those links down in the comments too. But I need to work on this one. I'd like to get that finished. And I actually have all of these made. It's just that I have to put the sashings in. So that's where I am on my UFOs. I do want to give you a little tip that I think is important, and I really realized the importance after taking my big quilt, the surprise package quilt top down off of my design board. When I took that quilt off my design wall, there were threads everywhere. And unfortunately, there's a lot of loose threads all over the back of that quilt. And before I have that quilt top, and before I have it quilted, I'm going to have to take care of all those loose threads, get them off and trim up any long loose threads that are still attached to the back. So what I want to recommend is when you've taken a quilt top off your design wall or just even a project, just take a sticky roller and clean that design board before you put any other projects up there. In fact, as you go along, you might want to use your sticky roller because those threads can and will get on the back of your current piece, and then you just have to pick them off when you take that piece down. So you might think about just using that sticky roller to keep your design wall clean. Now in the comments below, I'd like for you to tell me what you've gotten accomplished. Even if it's just that you got a project out and got it pressed, or you got some fabric cut, whatever it is, put it in the comments below and we'll celebrate those small wins together. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Please share with a friend, and as always, leave a comment. I love to get the comments, and I do try to reply to each and every one. So until next time, have fun quilting.